Hi guys, how are you? Good to see you. Well, good to be here. You see me, so good to be here and back. We just finished Easter and Passover and Spring Awakening. It's really spring. I gotta be honest. It's like inching its way in. It did. It's not like a. It hasn't been. It didn't come in like a lion. Right. What do they say? Summer comes in like a lion. Spring comes out like a lamb. I don't know, but it hasn't come in like anything. It's still like 40 degrees, 45 degrees. At nighttime it gets super chilly, but yeah, the weather is very interesting. It's a little like icy, but not really. It's like there's like a little wetness in the air because it's spring, but because it's cold, that wetness feels a little cold, like icy. So that's what I mean by icy. Icy air is how I feel. So very, very, very slow start to the spring. But we're gonna go to our shiny crystal. Well, no, let me see. Is there anything else? Because it's been a week. We were off for a week, so it's been like 2 weeks since I feel like I've talked to you guys. Let's see. Is there anything else that happened that I might want to say? Well, yeah, not the diabolical, the volatile spring season. Yeah, it's just cold and warm and cold and windy. The wind. I can't even keep talking about the wind in New York. Oh my God. I don't remember it ever being this windy all the time. It's windy at least a couple of times a week. That's a lot of wind. You know, back in the day, we didn't have a lot of wind the way that we have now. Like usually you had like a windy day and everybody was like, holy shit, it's windy out. Chicago, it was the windy city. They had the wind. Like now we got the wind. It's because of the climate change and the pressure systems. I checked it out because I was like Googling it because I was like, is this fucking CERN, you know, like the CERN shit, the CERN? Is this the rich people fucking around? You know, that's what I was wondering. But it's not. It's climate change. It's the pressure systems that are all messed up. So the wind is brutal. I don't like it. The dirt goes in my eyes. Oh my God. My dog doesn't give a shit. He doesn't seem to care about the wind. I noticed too that my dog doesn't really like appreciate the birds chirping. Like dogs, they're not like, oh, it's a new season. They're not, obviously dogs are not like humans because they're animals, but they just don't appreciate things. It's kind of refreshing, and it feels like I'm like, all right, maybe I don't have to, because I'm like, I pamper my dog and I'm always concerned for him and I'm always making sure every decision throughout my day benefits him. So maybe I don't have to be like that because he doesn't even give a shit really. Like he's definitely a spoiled little brat actually. No, he's not a brat. Oh my God, no. He's the sweetest. He really is such a sweet angel. Spoiled as fuck. Not even just has like a pile full of toys things, like just spoiled in general. Like he doesn't, like everything I do is for him. Every move we make throughout the days and nights is for him. He doesn't realize how spoiled he is. So he doesn't care about the birds. He doesn't care about the seasons changing. Like we were walking and I was listening, the birds were chirping and all he was looking for was that fucking squirrel. That's it. He was just looking for that squirrel. That's all he cared about. He didn't care about, I was like, buddy, I'm like, you hear the birds? I literally said this, bird, you hear the birds chirping, buddy? Isn't that nice, buddy? He just eyes on the prize. Doesn't care. And I was like, wow, dogs really just don't care that the seasons changed, you know? Like when I put his jacket on him because it's too cold outside in the winter or in these transitions, he don't care. I mean, he doesn't realize that when I don't put the jacket on him, because he's very like thin coated, you know? So he's like shivering if I don't put the jacket. So I put the jacket on, he stops shivering. You'd think he gives a fuck? He don't realize that it's because of the jacket that he stopped shivering. Loving a dog is truly like, it's the most rewarding thing, but like you get no reward. The reward you get is the love and the happiness to know that your dog is happy. But you don't get like, there's no Father's Day gift. There's none of that, you know? The dog, he don't realize that, he has no idea. Like I remember when he was a puppy and I'd be like swatting bees away from him, or he would go like to eat, he would be trying to eat the bee and I'd be like, no, or he'd be like doing something and I would see like a bug and I'd get the bug. I'm like, this dog has no idea that I've been like trying to save his life, his whole life. It's like, but he's the biggest thing I love. So he's doing something right, you know? But he's not my shiny crystal today because he has been my shiny crystal in the past. My shiny crystal today is family. You know, I thought about this because Jay, my producer, made a good point. We just came out of Passover and Easter, and when I thought about my Easter weekend, it was really just about being with my family. And the week leading up to Easter, my mom does like traditional stuff with my sisters. They'll make these little cute pies. And, I was getting like an Easter toy for my little baby nephews. And then we decorated eggs together. So like we did all kinds of like Easter stuff, And then like my aunt came by this week because she didn't get to see us for Easter. So, it's like, it's Easter stuff. It's family. And I think family deserves to be a shiny crystal because, they're everything you have. Your family is super important, family dynamics. Oh my God. Like I've talked about aunts and uncles before, and, I'm thinking about my aunt today because I just saw her, and she's just someone that like, you just always love. Your aunt and uncle you can have fun with. We always laugh together. When I was a little kid, I always just thought she was like so cool. And she was, she got this like naughty Christmas tape, which was just back in the day, grandma got ran over by a reindeer, like songs like that, or I saw mommy kissing Santa Claus. Those were like the naughty Christmas songs. And I was like, hey, Carol, can you bring the tape, the funny Christmas tape? And till this day, all these years later, it's still, I don't have any bad feelings about my aunt. I just feel like, she's just always been a fun light in my life. And then you have your parents, and your parents are your blood, are your flesh. Like you literally are like created from them. So there's just this bond that you have with your parents like no other, where even if it's a good relationship or a bad relationship, whatever the relationship is, that's circumstantial. Your parents are like you are your parents. So that's a bond that can't be broken. Then you have your siblings, I saw this quote the other day where they said, it's not really a quote, it was more of a meme. They said, it's funny how siblings can grow up in the same household, so close, doing all the same things together, but all have different experiences in the family, in the house. Because every parent treats every kid differently. There's just different relationships. There's different chemistry. There's different dynamics. That's just the way it is. Then you have birth order. So you're having a different experience because you're birth order. Then you have sex. There's males and there's females. There's daughters and sons. They have different experiences with the parents. Daughters have different experiences with dads as they do with moms. Sons have different experience with moms as they do with dads. So there's so many dynamics. Then you have the new kids. You have the nephews and the nieces. And it's just so funny that like, you think about that, like, because I'm a nephew. So when I was a younger kid, I'm the aunt and uncle now, like how I had the aunt and uncles. And like, you don't realize when you're younger that like they had a whole life before I was born. Like I think of like me and my sisters, and like before all the nephews and nieces were born, they started being born 17 years ago. Before that, so they've been here for 17 years, all the kids. And me and my family have been here for decades with each other. And there's been decades of experience, but like a whole life that was lived. But now, and then these kids, and like with my aunt, like I can't picture my life without her, but she had a whole life, 20s of years before I was 30. How old was she when I was born? I think she was maybe like, she was young. She was a young aunt. So she had like 18 years. But anyway, yeah, like, you don't realize, that there was a whole life before you were involved in the family. So then that's a cool little addition. And then you have these stages, they're little kids, they're toddlers, then they're teenagers, and then they're adults. And then you have your cousins. I didn't get to see any cousins for this Easter, but, then you have the brother-in-laws. I got a brother-in-law and then my sister's boyfriend. So yeah, then you have those dynamics, those, they just came into the family. So you love and accept them, but you're building your relationship and you're grounding with the in-law person. It's a very interesting dynamic, family, but I think it's great. I think it's important. There's times where you're just kind of like, I'm a very free spirit. So, and then, I'm the only boy. I have 3 sisters. So they all, the sisters always do their thing. So sometimes you get a little like I'm in my own world kind of vibe. But yeah, so I just thought families, we influence each other. We support each other. You really can just be yourself a lot of times with your family. Although no. I think there's a family self We all have like a family self where somebody, because we are a role in our family. So you step into that role when you're with your family. So yeah, it's like a family self. Because when you're with your friends, you probably are a little more yourself. Like even when I'm with clients, I kind of feel like I'm more myself. Like I loosen up more with my clients even. Whereas like with your family, you know, I'm totally loose with my family, of course. But like, yeah, there's a family self. You're a role in your family. So yeah, so family is just, I think, one of the most important things in our lives. And it's sad when people stray from their family, or when they don't have a lot of family, or if the family is separated, or you lose people in your family. So those dynamics change. I mean, I guess I have to feel blessed that I have my family. So I do understand I do understand that concept. We have to value each other while we're all here. That's the most important part. All right, let's go on to reincarnate or reincarnate. So today, one of my listeners, my viewers, she suggested this one. She's a teacher, and I thought it would be cute if you did being a crayon or a piece of paper. So I thought that is kind of cute. So let's explore that. So it's so funny. As I'm saying the crayon, I can smell it. Like I can smell the crayon, and I'm picturing a red crayon, and like I can smell it. Like as I say crayon and think about crayon, I can smell it, and I can feel the waxy texture of it. I also feel like I think I would be a crayon. I think I would reincarnate into a crayon. Just being all cute, and like, they got the little flat head and the little, triangular face, and their little stocky neck, and then a little cute little outfit that, represents their color. So, I would have my little beige suit on. And then, every now and then people, as my little crayon, as I dull out. Ooh, I don't know if I would want to be sharpened. Ooh, I don't like that part. They would sharpen me. I don't really like, oh, no. And then the shavings come off. Oh my God, I just felt bad for every crayon I've ever sharpened. That's empath example. That's an example of an empath right there. I actually just felt bad of all the crayons that I've sharpened before, because I just thought of the skin. I'm like literally peeling their skin off when you sharpen a crayon. I think, I'll be honest with you, I think that I was a peeler. There are kids who didn't sharpen, they would just keep peeling. So like you just use the crayon and it dulls down over time, and you just peel a piece of the paper off and then you keep doing it. But they did have the sharpener in the back of the Crayola box that you would get into. I used to make art with the shavings from the crayons. Glue art. I'm sure many of you did it. Draw a little picture with the Elmer's glue and then throw the shavings of the crayons on it and shake it up and blow it off. Voila, you got a cute little piece of art. I used to love doing that, always with hearts. I'm a heart person. I love drawing hearts. Hearts are one of my favorite symbols. So I would do my little glue heart, throw my shavings on, blow it off, and it was fabulous. So I would want to be a crayon because I feel like crayons bring kids joy. I feel like crayons help people communicate and express themselves. I feel like crayons are vibrant and fun. I mean, have you ever seen anyone mad at a crayon? Although sometimes their kids are a little unruly with crayons. Maybe I would want to be a crayon that was in an adult art class, One of those big mambo jumbos. You ever play with those crayons, and big ones that thick? Those suckers are nice. Or what are those, the oil painting crayons? Those are interesting. I used to be very impressed with the people who would take those flat crayons, and they would do their little art with the flat crayon. It was like shading. You can do a lot with crayons. Crayons are so simple. Crayons are like easy, accessible paint. Crayons are like no hassle paint, and they always have so many fun colors too. Violet and grape, and they would call it Prince Violet or grape violet. They would have different. Yeah, I'm thinking too. There was the original box of crayons. I guess there was 8 that would come in the crayons, and those are just the regular colors. And the big crayons. Oh, you know what? The big box of crayons when you have to take the sleeve out. There was like 4 different sleeves and all the crayons. Oh my! I did not like putting my crayons away. For me, I like get me the little tin cookie box, the little sugar cookies that come in the round tin. Throw the crayons in there. Once those crayons are open, I'm not putting them back in and out of the crayon box. Like it's not happening. It's over. Put them in the Stella Dora tin or whatever the sugar cookies are with the crystallized sugar on them, and call it a day. We're done. I'm not doing back in the crayon box, and then you put a half a crayon because you're down there, and then you're trying to stick the other crayon on. Why isn't this going in? Because you use a lot of red, and now it's this big in the bottom of the crayon sleeve. So yeah, no. If I had kids of my own, and we would have the tin of crayons. We're not torturing ourselves putting the crayons back in each crayon thing. No, sorry. I'm an Aquarius rising. That's how we create. I'm sorry. I know some parents are probably like, no, you have to teach your kid to be organized and have all their shit together. It's not how I'm doing it. So, or would I want to be? So crayon, I guess, yes, I would reincarnate into a crayon. I guess the shaving and sharpening of the crayon isn't ideal, but you know what? Shit, even as a human, we got to do shit like that we don't want to do. So I would say yes. I would reincarnate as a crayon. I just keep smelling it. Oh my God. There were kids that ate crayons, if I remember. They would eat the crayons. That always kind of bugged me out. I was always like, why are you eating the crayons? Like, this is not someone. I used to be like, he's eating the crayons. Like, this is what's going on here. Why are you eating the crayons? This isn't cute. And like, I felt bad because like no one would like. It wasn't even like they were doing it to be funny or they were like a riot. Like they were like eating the crayons, and I was like, I feel like they're malnutrition. They weren't eating at home, so that was a little strange when I was a kid. All right. Would I want to be a piece of paper? Huh. Well, paper, being that it came from a tree, I guess no, because I just want to be the tree. I don't be cutting me down to slice me up and dry me out so that people could write on me. That feels like a journey that was unnecessary, although we need paper. That's a double-edged sword, isn't it? Like, we don't want to cut all the trees down because they're trees and we need them and they're beautiful and they provide oxygen and shade and we need trees. But we need paper too. So that's interesting. I wonder if there's a fix for that because my goodness, I love paper. I got to be honest. As a writer, as somebody who's written professionally and personally, I love paper. Love paper. That's a very... So would I want to experience being a piece of paper? Because it feels like the journey of becoming a piece of paper is really grueling and monstrous. All right, so let me try to maybe I could take my mind and say, like, take it away from the process, throw a little ignorance maybe. Hold on. So paper without the process. It's kind of like just being a soul without the body. So without the process, just the experience of being a paper, being, people writing on you, people using you for expression. I love that. I keep feeling paper cuts. I don't like that aspect. I don't know if I would want to make people bleed. Paper airplane. Someone can make you be a paper airplane. You could fly and soar through the air. Paper does deliver beautiful, like, love letters as well, especially back in like the 1900s. I think I would be a piece of paper in the 1900s. I would not, like an old Victorian broad, just writing out her little love story to her man that's fighting in the war. And she sends her little letter to the war, and he gets it, and he reads it, and he puts his little letter in his helmet. He always remembers her, and he's like, she's over in Georgia, and here I am in the war, and now I have my letter to look at, and this piece of paper that brought me so much joy. So he saves that paper, and then like one day, in like the year 1999, someone finds that paper and they're like, oh my God, this is someone's great great grandfather when he was in the war. And great great grandma wrote to him, and that he didn't know if he would ever see her again. Look at this love. Their love is on this paper. So the paper is like holding their love. Like, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. So I think I would want to be a piece of paper to experience that. But a piece of paper in the 1900s, not some 2026 paper, all underappreciated. Everybody's on their laptops. They're reluctantly using paper. Kids are in school. If they're using paper, it's only for schoolwork and they hate it. Yeah, no, I don't want to be no 2026 paper. Some like underappreciated piece of paper. No, thank you. So I would have, there's a little contingency on the paper. I would be a 1900s paper. 1900s paper, any kind of crayon I would be. I personally would like to be like the metallic crayons. The metallic crayons are, ooh, I could feel them. Think about it. Close your eyes for a second. If you're driving, don't close your eyes. But if you're seated, close your eyes and think of the silver, or it was like gold, shiny kind of crayon, and just picture how it would write. Oh my God, it was so smooth. It was like that, like it was almost like buttercream, the way it would write. Oh, do you remember those? Not the gray crayon, not even just, but the shiny silver and the shiny gold and the shiny bronze. Oh, the way it would write. Oh my God, I could picture it right now. It's like wet. It would write almost wet. You know what I mean? What a memory. I'm happy we went through that. That was nice. All right. Well, that was a fun one. Thank you for that suggestion, Miss J. Okay. All right. Well, on to Oh Wise One. So our Oh Wise One today, let's see. Our Oh Wise One today said, okay. When you think about source or spirit, where do you picture them? The sky, in your heart, where? Okay. When you picture source or spirit, where do you picture them? Well, the first thing I would say is when I picture them just, I feel them around. When I'm talking to them or I'm connecting to them, I feel them around. I always say that. It's like around here. It's either around here or up here. Okay. Never down there. I don't feel things like on the floor or, I would love to say I feel it in my heart, but I don't feel it in my heart. I feel it. I guess I would feel it here in my gut more, in my solar plexus right here. I feel it here. I see it in here, but I feel it around here, over here, around. I guess when I say around, it's like around. It's not right up here. It's like around and like diagonal. So around, upper, I would say upper around. But yeah, it's a feeling here, pictures in my brain, and then I feel it like around. I could sometimes a lot more recently, the past few years, I'll feel like cold wind actually. Like actual, like a piece of like cold air. I'll feel that. That'll happen randomly. Or I'll smell cigarette smoke. That is another one. And I didn't know what that was. I used to smell cigarettes. I used to actually think my neighbor was smoking right below me. I used to think he was smoking, and I used to be like, "There's no smoking in the buildings. Why are we smoking? It's coming through the floor." He never was. Nobody was ever smoking down there. And then I had seen somewhere that they said that when there is heavy spirit around you, or heavy energy or entity or presence, like heavy, not just like when I'm doing readings, like heavy, like they're like trying to like be a part of the environment and that you're in, you'll smell cigarette smoke. So that was interesting. And what else? Where else would I feel them? I guess like I've heard like audio sometimes. I've heard them, but that's rare for me. I'm not I'm not a clairaudient, but I have and I do, and I love that when I hear them. Actually, the hearing, love it because it's easier to communicate when I can hear them. So I like that. I'm not freaked out by it. Some people would be freaked out by it. I'm not freaked out by it. I often will say to them, "Speak it to me," so it's just easier to get to the message. So I love clairaudience. That's your throat chakra. So when I'm doing my meditation before readings, I'm opening all my chakras, and I often say, my throat chakra, open that up. It's released. It's mutable. It's free flowing. And then I love hearing it. Oh, the hearing is the best. Because when you're seeing it, you're really having to translate it when you're seeing it. Because when you're seeing it, they're playing charades. So like the other day in a reading, they showed me Peter Pan. And it was the grandfather trying to make me say Peter because the grandpa's name was Peter. So I had to distinguish, is he just childlike? What is Peter Pan? What is he trying to say with Peter Pan? Is he saying be more childlike? Is he saying never grow up? No, he was just saying his name, So when they say it, if he just would say Peter, then it would be like, oh yeah, Peter. I just heard the name Peter. So that happens too sometimes. I'll hear the name and I'm like, oh, I just heard it. But when they decide, because it's all about what they decide when they're communicating, if they want to show pictures, now we're playing charades. So definitely prefer the hearing. I'm not afraid of the hearing. The feeling, so like I said, I'll see the images, hear them, or the feeling. The feeling one, when it's here, that one is more for me. When I feel it, it's more of a confirmation when I receive the message and I interpret the message and then I get like a feeling, or if I'm looking at them and I'm thinking of something on my own, like my brain is thinking of a question or something that I'm wondering, and then I feel the answer, the feeling is like, that's how I use the feeling thing. Like it feels like the answer. It just feels like, oh, I need to say this. Like I'll be like, oh, I need to say this. That's the feeling. So yeah, it comes in like those, it's using your senses. That's what they're doing. They're using your senses. So, but the channeling, that was something that's new and has happened in readings, and I love when it happens. That's a whole body experience. That's not really like, so when I have my eyes closed and I'm like channeling source or spirit, that would be more source, I guess. So when I'm channeling source to like just say the word, I see the words, but not necessarily, I just say them. I just say them and I see them. Because sometimes when I'm just saying them, I have to consciously not let my brain be there to judge it. I just have to say it. All right, so let's go to our sponsor. So yeah, thank you for your Oh Wise One question. Okay? All right. Christine Louisi, our girl, our spa, our facial heaven at Collective Beauty Skincare Studio. I know a bunch of people who have gone. They've texted me that they're either going or gone. They love it. You will love it. Like I said, get a gift card if you don't live here for someone who lives here. They will love it because it is so easy peasy, peaceful, breezy. Well, my nephew says, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Love it. Christine Louisi, she does, like I said, eyebrows, facials, hair removal, all the amazing stuff, laser, all of it. It's just you and her. It's not like a full salon, like busy, like annoying. She's booked and busy, but it's like one-on-one. So Collective Beauty Skincare Studio in Malvern, Long Island. Check it out. All of her info is in the bio. You could text her. Her number's right there. You can shoot her a text. We love Christine. Just mention Crusty Crystals and you'll get 25% off. Okay, so let's go to channel. Let me take a little sip here. Okay. You have to try. You have to try. You have to let go of it all. You got to let go. You got to try. Peel back the layers. Change you, be you. It's time. Let things go. Let it go. Everyone hurts. Everyone cries. Everyone suffers. Rejoice. Love. Find your way. Be alive. We're here. Try. Try. Oh my gosh. Huh. That one was nice, like in a sense of, like it feels like it tells you what you need to hear, you know? Like when you do that, it feels like it tells you what you need to hear. And that's why I say to you guys too, like when I am doing that, whatever I'm saying, even if it's source telling me what I need to hear, there's people that they might need to hear it. You know what I mean? So I feel that that could be helpful. You know what I'm thinking about right now? Like why I'm like in deep thought about it right now? Because it feels good. Like when I'm in that state and I'm just doing that, I feel calm. Like I feel chiller. And that's what I think, that's what source is. That's what I've always, like in the past when I learned about like manifesting and source and all that stuff, like it is peace. That's heaven. Heaven is peace. Like when your soul leaves your body, it's peace. It's these fucking bodies that make us feel all this anxiousness. Just like, so when I go there and I just kind of like let go of, like I let the guard go, I just drop it. I just drop the Thomas of it all. And I just let it, and I let my words, my mouth move. It feels calming for me. It feels like I'm like taking a break for a second and just letting Source speak. And Source always, it loves you like a parent. It is our parent. It's God. So it like, it speaks through, it's a comforting feeling. Like it's like, there's no, like if I was tired before, when I got into it, I wasn't tired during that moment. Like I just felt like a kid floating on a cloud, you know, like just a baby after a fresh bath and they powder them up, you know, like I felt like that. Like I was like, like I could have sat there like that probably for a long time, but I was like, you know, I wanted to come out of it to get back to you guys because I didn't know really how long I had with that. I don't know. It just it feels calm is what I would say when I'm doing that. And like, I don't even, honestly, like I'm thinking back to myself. I'm like, what did I even say? Not saying like I wasn't present, right? I wasn't in that deep of a trance, but what I'm saying is like, I'm trying to think like I'm trying to like go back to what I was saying. Like, I was like, what was I saying? It was about letting go, being yourself, not like leading with fear or anxiety or anxiousness. It felt like it was just about like letting go really and just succumbing to the energy of life, like to the energy of the universe, like just get in that flow. And I know I need to hear that because I've been like, you know, a little stressed out and it's like, no, just be in that flow. So hope somebody got something from that. I hope you guys got something from that. I know, you know, let's just say, I know everyone feels like tense these days, you know, I know, and this not about politics. Obviously that's part of it, but just world, just not even the world, because that's too big also. Let's talk just day to day, just like I think since 2020, it's been like that. Like it's just, I know I've said it before, But I found myself scrolling a lot the past couple of weeks, and it's just burning my brain out, my dopamine. Like, it's so not just, we have to try to get back to simplicity, nature, the family compounds. Like, I'm not being, Mr. like motivational speaker. I'm being just honest about what's in my heart right now. We have to simplify again. I think as humans, we're getting overstimulated. We're getting too much information. I mean, it's like funny almost how much information we're getting. Like, I'm like, not even like computing it. Like, I'll just be walking with my dog and looking at, or like at a red light, look at my phone. It's like, or like in the bed scrolling, and you're like, if I hear one more time, psychiatrist just found out a new this, a new that. It's like, where does all the information, where's it going? So simplicity. We need to get back to simplicity, but simplify is what I'm looking for. Like, we have to get back to a more simpler time. And I think we have to do that. I don't think we can because, we have technology, we have AI, we have Age of Aquarius, which is shaking things up. I think in our everyday life as individuals, if you can try to simplify, keep it simplistic, that was the word I was looking for, keep it simplistic, and just smile at people you encounter. Try not to overthink or over worry. Try to just love your family that you have, and be there. We have to keep it simple because it's making people crazy. It's putting people on edge. People are pseudo happy, and I want people to be really happy. So try to hear that. All right, my loves. Well, this was episode 39. I don't think I said that in the beginning. So episode 39, here we are. Love you guys. Hope all is well. Enjoy the rest of spring. I'm Thomas Dale, Florid Media. Guys, like I said, if you're on Long Island, come check it out. Come do something here. It's worth it. Follow us on the socials, Thomas Dale 5, Crusty Crystals Podcast on TikTok, and Crusty Crystals Pod on Instagram, or vice versa. Taurus 55 YouTube page. Love you guys. Bye.